everyone, I'm Sarah and welcome back to my crochet channel. Now today's video is step number 4 in our summer solstice poncho crochet along. In step number 1 we made the squares. In step number 2 we put them together. In step number 3 we did the neckline trim. And today on step number 4 we're going to do the hem of our poncho. And then at the end of this video, I've already had some questions coming in concerning our crochet along, and so I'm going to answer those questions at the end of the video. There's only about 4 or 5, nothing major, things that you probably are questioning as well. And so I'll answer all those questions at the end of the video. Now, if you want steps 1 through 3, you can find that link right up there. That's that playlist. And that will take you right to all the videos in the crochet along. Also, I will post the link for the written pattern on my blog with lots of pictures, because sometimes looking at pictures helps as well as the video. And you can find that link down in the notes underneath this video. All right, so let's get started. Oh, also, before I forget, all the information for what you need, materials, stitches, sizing, all of that stuff is in that very first video. All right, it's in step number 1 video. Just wanted to remind you of that. All right, let's get started with the hem of our poncho. So I'm going to be starting with my blue, and I'm going to alternate colors like I did on the neck with the yellow and green as well, just to keep all the colors flowing. So what we're going to do is, this is the front of my poncho. I'm going to turn it to where I'm at the shoulder. This is the left shoulder facing the front. And I'm going to join to that first triple. There we go. And bring in my blue, and we're going to chain 4 chains, because we're going to be stitching triples all the way around the edge. I brought my camera in a little closer so you can see what I'm doing. And so our chain 4 counts as our first triple, and we're going to stitch a triple in each of those triple stitches, working down to that front point of our poncho. Remember, 2 wraps on the hook gets us our triple stitch. And so we're going to stitch 1 triple in each of the triples, and we're going to work all the way down across our join here, and I'll show you how to do that when we get there, down to our point. I'll show you what to do when we get there, and then we'll work back up the other side and then the back of our poncho. All right, so let's just work down to that first join so I can show you how to work that where we joined our squares. 1 triple in each of the triples. We started at the shoulder in that first triple. We stitched a triple in each of the triples across that first square. This brings us to our first join, okay? And so what we want to do is, here is that chain 2 space. So we're going to stitch a triple in that chain 2 space. And then we'll stitch a triple in this next chain 2 space where we joined our squares together. And then we'll just start right in that first triple of that next square and stitch a triple, working down to that point on the front of our poncho. So 1 triple stitch in each of the triples, working down to that point of our poncho, and then I'll show you how to deal with the point. Super easy when we get down there. So again, we're stitching 1 triple in each of the triples till we get to this next chain 2 space. So we started here on the shoulder and we stitched across, stitching 1 triple in each, and we stitched a triple in those 2 chain 2 spaces of our join. Now we're down here to the corner, and we're going to do this corner, or this point of our poncho, the same way that we had been doing all through our poncho, and that is 2 triples, chain 2, and 2 triples in that chain 2 space. And that keeps our poncho having its point in the front, and we'll do this in the back as well. And then we'll just go up the other side, back up to the next shoulder, stitching a triple in each of the triple stitches, the same way we did on that first side. It's a super easy row. It just is a little bit time consuming because we're stitching all the way around the hem of our poncho. So we're stitching 1 triple all the way up this other side to the shoulder. Lots of triple stitches, huh? All right, so we started up here at the shoulder. We stitched down to the point. We did the point the same, 2 triples, chain 2, 2 triples, and then I stitched triples all the way up this other side to the other shoulder. Now I need to do the back side, and we're going to do the back side exactly the same as we did the front side, making that point in the point. And so we'll continue across, stitching down to the point, and then back up this other side, and then we'll join to that chain 4 where we started this row. All right, so we started over here with our chain 4 and stitched all the way down to that first point. We did 2 triples, chain 2, 2 triples. Then we stitched all the way up with our triple stitches, and then came down the back side, repeated that here, and then stitched all the way back up and joined to our chain 4. I didn't chain 3 or 4 or anything because I'm going to change colors. All right, so let me just show you this again so you can see how it's supposed to look. This is the bottom edge, or the hem, of our poncho. We have a complete row of triple stitches all the way around the edge of our poncho. All right, now if you're going to change colors, don't do your chain 3 yet. If you're not going to change colors, go ahead and chain 3. So we're going to be doing double crochets, and that's just going to bring it in just a little bit neater for us, because sometimes stitching with it being loose can be a little bit awkward, and I also think it makes it hold its shape nice at the end. So I'm going to bring in my next color. Again, if you're not changing colors, go ahead and chain 3, but since I'm changing colors, I'm going to do my chain 3 after my color change. Pulled my tail a little bit there. All right, so I'm going to chain 3, and then I'm going to bring my camera in just a little bit closer. So now, instead of stitching triples, we're stitching double crochets. Our chain 3 counts as our first, so we'll go right in that next triple stitch and stitch a double crochet. And so we'll stitch a double crochet in each of those triple stitches around. We'll stitch all the way down to that front point, and then I'll show you how to do that front point, which really isn't hard at all. So we're stitching 1 double crochet in each of the triple stitches all the way around our poncho, and I'll show you how to do that point when I get down there. I stitch double crochets in each of the triple, 1 in each, till I reach this chain 1 space. And we're going to do that exactly the same as we've been doing, only we're doing double crochets. So we're going to stitch 2 double crochets, chain 2 and 2 double crochets in that chain 2 space at the point of our poncho. And then we'll continue working up the next side with 1 double crochet in each of the triples. There we go. And we'll repeat this all the way around, and then on the point on the back of our poncho, we'll do it exactly the same. And again, join back to our first chain 3 for this row. I stitch double crochets in each of the triple, 1 in each, till I reach this chain 1 space. And we're going to do that exactly the same as we've been doing, only we're doing double crochets. So we're going to stitch 2 double crochets, chain 2 and 2 double crochets in that chain 2 space at the point of our poncho. And then we'll continue working up the next side with 1 double crochet in each of the triples. There we go. And we'll repeat this all the way around, and then on the point on the back of our poncho, we'll do it exactly the same. And again, join back to our first chain 3 for this row. So now you can see that I have stitched a double crochet in each of those triple stitches around. Here's my 2 points. We did those the same. 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. Similar to our triples, we just did them with double crochets. Now, at this point is where you need to decide the length of your poncho. If you're wanting it to be like, say, a bathing suit cover-up and you want it to be a lot longer, you can do as many rows of the double crochet as you want to. I'm just going to do 1 more because I want to make sure that I have blue, yellow, and then end in green, okay? But you can do as many as you want to. If you want to be super long, add a whole bunch more. If you don't add any more. It's up to you, the length. I just suggest that maybe you try it on. Use your tape measure and measure it out. Make sure it's going to fit you or the person that you're making this for and the length that they want. All right, so over here, I'm going to join in my green yarn and I'm going to do 1 more row of double crochets. I have cut off my yellow because I'm changing colors, and now I'm going to bring in my green and chain 3. If you're not changing colors, then you can just go ahead and do your chain 3. Counts as our first double crochet, and now we're just going to go right in that next double crochet and stitch a double crochet. And we're basically just repeating on this row what we just did on that previous row. 1 double crochet in each of the stitches around, and then we'll do the points on the front and back exactly the same as we did with 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. All right, so again, the length of this poncho is totally up to you or for the person that you're making this for. If they're short, you may not want to add a lot of rows because I'm short and so I'm not. But if you're taller, or even if you just like a long poncho, add as many rows as you need. Just measure to make sure it's going to fit you properly. You don't want to have to rip those rows out if it's too long. All right, so I'm stitching 1 double crochet in each of those stitches, working all the way around my poncho for my final row. Alrighty, so I have finished that last row on my poncho, that second row of double crochet, working all the way down, back up, the other side, there's my 2 points, and then join back to my chain 3 there, and I've cut my yarn. I have some weaving in I need to do there where I changed colors, but that's how it should look. I'm finished. Now that we have completed our summer solstice poncho, we've completed the hem, we completed the neckline, it's all sewed together and it's beautiful. I have had a few questions come in concerning the pattern. One of the questions is the neckline is very low, which it's made to go over a shirt or a dress or a bathing suit. But this particular person said they wanted it cinched in. And I have to agree with this person because I decided I wanted it to be cinched in as well. And also I didn't care for how this was looking. And so what I did is I took 3 strands of my yarn, because I'm using 3 different colors, and I chained 125 chains. And I'm going to lace this through this triple row around and cinch it in. I left a long section of string here. I can trim that when I'm done. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in and out every 2 stitches and pull that to the center. And I'll continue doing this around until I have it as long as it needs to be to go all the way around my poncho. There we go. And I'm doing this through this row of triples because I think it will work better than through my row of singles. And I'm going in and out every 2 single or every 2 triple stitches. And it may take a little bit of time, you know, because it's not super simple, but also not super hard, a little more time consuming, but you wanted to make sure you get it right. Okay, and then I'll go through this all the way around the poncho through this row, and we'll just cinch it in, and it'll bring it in just enough to close up that neckline just a little bit. So I weave this through, working all the way around that row, every 2 stitches, and I'm back here at the beginning. And I think it will look really nice right here just to add maybe a little tie to it. And you can adjust it to however size you want to. If you want to cinch it up a lot, you can tie a bow. If you don't want it cinched up a lot, or maybe not at all, it'll still look really pretty. And also, you can do this as long as you want it. You can make it really long and just have it hang there and be part of the poncho so that it looks really pretty. It's just up to you how much you want to cinch in your poncho. I think it will look good just to take the 2 like this and just make a little knot like that, and then take these 2 and trim them even, but not off. And that's how I'm going to wear mine. That way I can adjust how much I want to cinch it with whatever outfit I'm wearing, and it covers up this particular section here that I don't think is all that pretty with the way the squares are put together. So that answers that question. Let's answer a few more. So I also was asked, do I have to use cotton for this project? And no, you do not. I chose to use this particular cotton, the Cotton Sprout, because it is a nice lightweight 3, and I wanted it to be a summer lightweight poncho that will go with some of our summer outfits. Sundresses, t-shirts, tank tops, tube tops, bathing suits. It's a nice addition if you just need a little cover up. Another question is, do I have to use a light number 3? Now, you don't have to. If you want to use an acrylic or a cotton that is a medium weight number 4, you can do this pattern. But you're going to need to know that the medium weight number 4 is going to stitch up just a little bit bigger. So maybe you want to go down a next size down. And remember, always measure as you go. That way you know it's going to work for you. Now, the last question is, the first video I talked about sizing, and that had to do with the size squares that you make. Well, then in the video 2, 3, and 4, I don't really talk about that. And that's because all the sizes, no matter what size squares you chose to put together, they're going to work the same. The difference is, if you decided to make the extra small, your squares are going to be smaller, so your rows are going to be less, and so you'll have less stitches. If you're making a large size like mine, or maybe the 3X size, you're going to have more stitches. And so even though I don't go into all the different amounts of stitches for all the different sizes, you're working it exactly the same. The only difference is you'll have less stitches around your neck. You'll have less stitches around your trim. And when you go to put your squares together, you'll have less stitches in putting those together, or more depending on your size. And that's why I didn't go into all of the stitch counts for all of the different pieces or portions or parts or steps of our poncho. Okay, so I just wanted to clarify some of those questions, and I hope that you'll have fun. Now remember, this poncho pattern, Crochet Along, those 4 videos will always be on my YouTube channel. I put them in a playlist on their own, Summer Solstice Poncho Crochet Along. And also, the link to those videos are under each one of the videos. And also, there is a link to the blog that has the written pattern with lots of pictures to help you, because I want you to make one of these. I want you to enjoy making it and maybe enjoy giving it away as well as wearing one. I'm getting ready to model mine down now. I hope it'll look good on me.